name is Noah, and I'm a DevRel engineer working on Atlas. In today's video, I'll be showing you our new custom rules feature and how you can use it on your own projects. The idea behind Schema Linting is that you define what rules and predicates you want your database to be following, and Atlas will go into your schema and check it to ensure that it does in fact comply with those rules. Now, this feature is only available to Atlas Pro users who have purchased a project. So before I get going with an example, I'm just going to quickly log in to my account. Next, let's define a predicate and a rule in a schema.rule.hcl file. I'm going to be doing this in JetBrains because we have an Atlas plugin for JetBrains, and that's just going to help with code completion. So I'm going to begin by defining a predicate specifically for columns. And what I'm going to have this predicate enforce is that each column is not null or it has a default value. So this is an or statement, and it's either going to be that default is not equal to null or null does equal false. Now let's define a rule that enforces this predicate. So I'm going to have the rule cover the whole schema, and I'm going to call it column not null. Now, I'm just going to put in a little description for this and say that it requires columns to be not null or have a default value. Now let's define what this rule covers. So it's going to be within the schema, it's going to be within the table, and then column. And within a column, I want to assert the predicate that I have defined. And you can see that it just auto-completes thanks to the Atlas extension. And if this assertion does not pass, if the predicate is not enforced within a column, it will print out a message that says the column, here I'm going to write self.name, so I get the name of the column that's not following the predicate, must be not null or have a default value. So now if this message prints out, after I run schema lint, I'll know which column it is that is nullable without having a default value. Now that we have our predicate and our rule defined, we have to connect it to our environment. So let's go to the atlas.hcl file and add a lint block. So I'm just going to paste that here. And what this block defines is what the rule is and where it's coming from. So now we've completed all of our setup, and it's time to try enforcing these rules on a database schema that I already have defined. You can see I have this table called users with 4 columns. ID and email should be just fine because null equals false. Column first name has null equals true, but there is a default value, so that should also pass just fine. But column last name has null equals true without a default, so that should not pass our predicate. But let's run Atlas schema lint just to be sure. Yep, so as you can see, we are getting that message that we defined in our rules block saying column last name must be not null or have a default value. So let's give last name a default value just to stay consistent with first name and try running that again. And now we're getting no diagnostics found, which means that our whole schema passes. So I hope that was helpful and you were able to learn how to create custom rules to apply to your own schema using Atlas. And if you would like some more examples to kind of help you through that process, you can head to the link in the description below and scroll through some more examples. So here we have requiring all PII columns to have a specific comment, require foreign keys to reference primary keys of the target table, and so on and so forth. We have a lot listed here. Additionally, as you might notice on this page, there is a schema lint versus migrate lint section. So if you'd like to learn more how to use custom rules with migrate lint, head over to our next video. That'll also be linked down below. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.